function, memorizing the precursor compound, okay, so stuff like that. Okay, so we'll start. So, with your lipids, so these are your heterogeneous compounds. Musiling ka heterogeneous, again, it means that there are different compounds that is on it. So, hindi lang nga glucose lang, hindi lang nga kung ano-ano lang ang ara. So, with your lipids, you have the combination of your glycerol, your fatty acids, you could have your phosphates, you could also have your sphingosines and other pang mga compounds that you could incorporate on its structure. So, usually, our lipids are structurally different with each other. But ang pinaka-common lang nila usually is the presence of your COOH, carboxylic acid. Okay? So, we have the example here into which they are, ano hambal nila? They are more related via the physical structure rather than the chemical properties. Because when you look at the structure, hindi halos tanan pala reyos. Unlike di ba sa aton amino acids, when we look at it, you will have just the main structure, which is the NH2, COOH, the H, and then you will have the side chain. So same goes with our sugars, into which we have usually the CHO or your ketone, and then you will just have the alternation of your hydroxyl and your hydrogen groups. Sakto? Remember lang? So with lipids, it's all about the physical form of it. Okay? So we have what we call the fats versus oil. So usually when we talk about fats, they are solid in room temperature. And when we talk about oils, of course, they are liquid in room temperature. So usually, ambot na lang kung sino pa hindi kabalo, all or almost all of our lipids are insoluble in water. So sa ikaw pa naman bala, 'di ba? Magbutang ka mantika sa tubig, it's always insoluble. So when we talk about non-polar solvents, what we are talking about here would be your alkane, your benzene, your alcohol. They are your non-polar solvents. So usually, ang aton yung mga oils kakatunaw is that. And one of the structure or one of the, the characteristic of your lipids would be they are amphipathic. Magsiling ka gani amphipathic, ano? Who wants to answer? Raise your hand or you can type in the answer for the amphipathic term. Sige na guys, wala gida. Amphipathic. So, magsiling ta amphipathic. Amphibian, di ba? Amphi. It means that you have this duality. You have the characteristic of being a polar and non-polar at the same time. So it means you are partially ionized and you are partially non-ionized. Okay? So somehow, may ara part nga pwede matunaw sa tubig pero hindi amuna ka. Dasig matunaw, may ara man yung mga part nga readily yaga katunaw sa oil or other non-polar solvents. Again, magsiling ka amphipathic. You have you have this characteristic into which you have the polar and the non-polar side. Okay? So next, we have the different functions of your lipids. And as you've noticed in here, mag-ano ko cursor guys, kita nun lang. Ang color white bilang naga-cursor. Kita nun lang sa inyo. Hi guys, yes or no? Kita nun?
Wala, miss.
Wala.
Miss.
So, dapat makadto ko sa... Okay. So, from current slide. Wait lang guys. Aria guys. Kita nun? How about now?
Wala.
Wala Japon, miss.
Okay. So, let's get along na lang para kanugdan sa time. Okay, so for the functions of your lipids, so as you can see on your slide, we have the three functions, actually three. We have this different functions. So number one is of course for energy storage. So always remember that your lipids or our lipids would be the source of our energy if ever we undergo starvation or hibernation. So for example, people could live without food for about a month or even longer than that if you only have water. But you can't live without water, guys. Pero kung tambok ka kag medyo syempre pagod man ka pila ka months, it's literally not because nga discriminate or what, but technically your anatomy gives you that advantage into which you have more of the storage of your fat, and your fat is one of our major energy source. So they are the ones being kept, but at the same time they are the ones giving us the higher amount of energy. So as you can see here, we have 9 kcal of your energy that is being given by your fats. When it comes to your carbohydrates, it's only 4 kcal. So there's 5 kcal difference with your carbohydrates and lipids. So here's the tip actually if you would want to diet or to lose weight. So we have what we call this LCIF, diba? Low carbohydrates, intermittent fasting. So I think I've practiced this also last summer. So it depends man guro sa tao because there are people who are not really good when it comes to skipping meals, and it's quite dangerous for the others. But usually you have this fasting time, and then about 8 hours. Tapos after sang 8 hours na, you could eat with that time frame with the consideration into which your carbs should be replaced with lipids. But may mahambalti, miss, kung kay bladon kay miss, kag amo ni sa ulihi, maamo ko na. So usually, the lipids that we are promoting in your LCIF should be healthy lipids, such as your olive oil. You could also have your eggs, okay, a source of your cholesterol. You could have your uh, unsaturated, yung mga butter. So, make sure man nga healthy man mismo nga lipids because there are really categories kung anong healthy kag hindi. Okay? So, usually, if you would want to lose weight, take more of the lipids and some of the proteins and leave out little of your carbohydrates. Okay? Kaya para sa little mo lang aging kaon nga lipid, may 9 kcal ka ng energy. Hindi ka na magluya. And as you noticed also, I think, kung magkaon ka bala carbs sa gabi, like alas 8 bisang gabi or alas 10, ara ba lang damo-damo gid nga kaon nga kanon imo gin kaon, usually mas gutom ka sa aga kay mas grabing energy or mas lipot ang energy nga ginahatag ni carbohydrates. But usually if you take on sudaan lang kisa or any kind of lipids or medyo pitsi-pitsi, do wala ka pa di ba ginahilap. Okay? So, amo na siya. Do advise na siya. So next, we have your membrane components. Of course, we do know that your cell membrane are composed of different kinds of biomolecules. So your lipid should be one and is mainly the component, phospholipid. Okay, so it means that there are generally lipids present on your cell membrane. And number 3, we have chemical messengers. So same to that of your proteins. Some of your proteins could act as your hormone and enzyme, and some of your lipids are converted into steroids or hormone in our body. Okay, and mainly our hormone is made up of lipids. So si enzyme siya mostly protein, but your lipids are mostly our hormones. So one of the most popular example would be your prostaglandin, and I think you've heard of this since second year na kamo. And your prostaglandin is one of our messengers in the body that to tell us that we are in pain. So siya ning nag-regulate sang aton nga pain reception. So how do we feel pain? And also your prostaglandin is the one responsible into coating our stomachs and the other part of our body para hindi ta ma-expose outside environment and hindi ta ma-expose, and then ang aton yung mga linings ng lawas ta protected enough. Okay? Sa mga ilong ta nga lining, sa bata, sa aton intestine, sa aton stomach, usually your prostaglandin is the one maintaining the balance of the acid and stuff. Okay? So you would learn further about that in your biochemistry. Now, next, also for the protection of our organs, so if you would look at anatomy videos, you would see nga may yellowish nga nag-wrap up sa heart. Kita ka mo na? So may nag-wrap up nga yellowish sa heart, sa liver. So they are usually the fats. And of course, insulators of heat. Hambal nila kung tambok ako no or medyo mas chubby-chubby ka, usually mas hindi ka kabatsyag tugnaw. I don't know about that, but siguro no. So wala man ta kabalo kay hindi man ta at the same time niwang di man ta at the same time nga do wala mo bulang experience ang both gid nga extreme. Okay? So next we have this different classification of your lipids. So sa diri pa lang adaan guys, hapos na magtuon. If you already memorized the classification here, it's easy for you to read on the different functions ng imong fatty acids. So no need to dig in na sa mga fatty acids sa tong damo. So I will give you the honor to really digest all of those topics. Okay? So first we have the simple and your complex. So in your simple, as we learned from your intro in biochemistry, we just have what we call the triglyceride, into which we have the glycerol and the 3 fatty acids. So that's just it, diba? Next, we have what we call your complex classification of your lipids, into which these are your phospholipids and your glycolipids. So by the word phospho, it means that we have the presence now of your phosphates. And in your glyco, of course, the term glyco represents your sugar. So with this type of your classification, sa diri pa lang adaan, hapos yun na siya madumduman. And always remember, hetero, di ba, si lipid. So, damo sa mga compounds that we could incorporate on its structure. So, in here, as you can see, ang kinalain lang sa aton glycero, sa aton sphingolipids is that we have the presence of your sphingosine. So, your sphingosine later on will be discussed kung ano ni siya. We know already, or you know already about triglycerides. So, based on our lecture last time, pauna type sa may chat box, kung sinong to. What is the process involved in this formation of triglyceride? With the formation of your triglyceride, what is the chemical reaction that happened in this? So, okay, participation. Type in, pauna sino dang answer? Okay. So, that would be your esterification. So, tsaktong hambal ni Miss Precious Arakil. So, it's esterification. So, with your esterification, usually, there is again dehydration. And then, ang bonds mismo matinapik. And you will now have the triglyceride. Okay? So, let's move on. Because, kapilatan ni sulit-suliton sa aton nga midterm, right? So, next, let's move on. We have your fatty acids. So the fatty acids that we are talking about here would be we have actually many. So we have the saturated and the unsaturated ones. So usually, kamo na bahala basa sang lawig ni. This is for your notes purposes. And usually, ang ginanamin tama na sa fatty acids is they contain the COOH, the carboxylic group, and they are of long chains. So usually, start sa mga fatty acids at carbon number 10. So it means that they are really long. Hydrocarbon. Next. So far, gets lang. Hindi man siya muna ka-complicated yung topic ang lipid. So now we have all of the saturated fatty acids that we usually see in our environment, from plants, from people also. So we have the capric going to your arachidic. So it's up to you on how to memorize this one. But with this saturated fatty acids, gintawag sila guys saturated. Okay, so put it on your notes. Or do you have any idea? Since this is from your organic chemistry pagigyapon, why is it that we are calling different alkyl carbon groups or alkyl hydrocarbon groups as saturated? Nga, who would want to answer? Pinaka, ano dabe? Okay. Sino pagid other than Arakil? Sino pagid, guys? Okay, so press. Why is it saturated?
Nang single bond lang, miss, wala double bond.
Okay. So usually they are saturated or called saturated because there is only single bond. So magsiling ka single bond, it means that the word itself, saturated, your structure is being saturated with hydrogen. So it means that every single of your carbon would have the hydrogen group. Kaya tanan-tanan sila nakatabid-tabid. So, may isa nga naka-attach diri sa piyak sang carbon as your hydrogen. May isa na naman ding hydrogen. Sa babaw yan, may hydrogen ka na naman. Always remember, di ba, that our carbon could handle for bonding. So, when we talk about unsaturated, it has two or it has double bond. So, kung sa double bond mismo, as you can see, it is double bonded to a certain hydrogen or a certain carbon group na naman, it means that there is no saturation of hydrogen on its structure. Kung makita mo, may tatlo lang, may duwa lang ka hydrogen nga nakatapik, tapos ang duway ng nga bond gatapik na sa another carbon. So it is not saturated with hydrogen due to your double bonding. So it is saturated because it is singly bonded and both sides of your carbon or all sides of your carbon is saturated with hydrogen. So ang ginasturyahan ta nga saturation is all about the binding of your hydrogen. Gets lang, guys? Raise hands dabe kung gets. Raise hands, raise hands. Okay. So, kay para kung mamamangkot, sinyo nga saturated, anong ginakinalain kung saturated kag unsaturated? So, usually, amo na siya with respect to your hydrogen saturation. So, memorize. So, from your capric, chloric, meristic, palmitic, steric, and arachidic. So, it's just your 10 carbon group to 20. And as you can see, hapos lang siya i-memorize kay by 2s ang imo nga isip. So, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. And there's nothing special about the formula because it's just a linear alkyl group. So, wala man da siya sa double bond nga inuglocate. And as you can see, as the carbon or the hydrocarbon group become more saturated or become more lengthier due to the presence of more carbon, the melting point becomes higher. So technically, kung galaba ang imo structure and you became a more complicated lipid, mas syempre budlay ka tunawon, diba? So da mo na lang. So kung mas lipot ka, syempre hapos ka lang tunawon. Doa mo lang man na siya ang theory behind that. Gets lang? Okay. So we'll move on. Next, we have this different kinds of fatty acid. Hindi ito na pag-isa-isahon, guys. I believe that you could read this one and understand so that we could cover up the important parts. So we have the different definitions for your fatty acid. So it's your responsibility to read this one. So these are the structures again. The lauric, okay, the meristic. Ara guys, ang mga functions, you should memorize the functions kung usually din sila ginagamit. So, hindi naman niya siya kilanlan basahon sa inyo. So, next, we have palmitic, the steric also. So, with this, your steric acid is usually one of our surfactants in one of our, naripat ko sang term, usually ginagamit siya sa tablet making ta. Into which, siya ning glidant, usually glidant, taman ni siya si steric acid. And it could also be found in different shampoos. Okay? So, medyo si steric acid yung pinaka-popular sa aton nga field. So, next, we have arachidic acid or what we call your eicosanoic acid. So, you will learn further about all of this if you read it one by one. Okay? So, we'll proceed with your unsaturated fatty acid. And when you look at it, it kind of is same with your saturated, but again, we have the presence now of your double bond. And when you look at it, we have the palmitoleic, oleic, linoleic, linolenic, arachidonic. So these are the most popular unsaturated fatty acids. So it starts from your carbon number 16 and up to your 20. So they are actually the same to that of your saturated when it comes to naming. But syempre, mayroon na double bond, so medyo twist lang juta yung ato names. So you would find this out if you would dig in deeper sa notes. Kung kamo na mismo ba lang mag-study kag mag-digest sinitanan. And as you can see, we have the degree of unsaturation. It means that this is the area of our double bonds. Okay, guys? So if 16 is to 1, it means that out of your 16 carbon, there is a position there or there is one part in there that is unsaturated. So it means that there is one double bond 1 double bond, 2 double bonds, 3 double bonds, and 4 double bonds. And it is indicated here 9, 9, 9, 12, 9, 12, 15, 5, 8, 11, 14. It means that this is the location of all of your double bonds. Okay? Tapos lang ano? So next, we'll have the different unsaturated. So again, please study on your own. So these are all the examples for your unsaturated fatty acid. But the most important among them, or that always goes out in your board exam, would be the arachidonic acid. Why is it? Because your arachidonic acid is our lipid responsible or is the precursor for the production of your inflammatory metabolites, or specifically the formation of our prostaglandin, thromboxanes, and your leukotrienes. So before getting from your arachidonic acid, you will still have first the linoleic acid. So we eat something or we do eat mga different kind of food containing linoleic acid, and this linoleic acid is further converted into arachidonic acid, and from your arachidonic acid will be forming this different inflammatory cascade or different inflammatory mga messenger or molecule. So in here, this is the example. Hindi ko makita na akong cursor. Pero sige lang guys, mati lang kama. So in here, why is it important? Because again, si membrane phospholipid mo, usually aranda, and usually we are intaking or partaking the linoleic acid. So pagkatapos ni linoleic acid, himuon siya sa arachidonic acid, or maybe we have this different membrane phospholipid that we already have, and then we have an enzyme responsible into converting it into arachidonic acid. And then this arachidonic acid will be further metabolized by your different enzyme, specifically your lipo. Guys, pakisulat liwat, lipooxygenase. So may double O na da. And your cyclooxygenase. Okay? So with this kind of pathway, okay, with your cyclooxygenase, we are actually forming the production of your prostacyclin, your prostaglandin, and your thromboxane. So, pinaka-importante lang guys is ang prostaglandin and your thromboxane. So, again, si prostaglandin, siya ni ang gahatag sa aton sang feeling of pain. Or it is the one signaling us that there is now inflammation and there is pain. Because if there is no pain, ano gani, you would feel nothing at all, and then mas prone ka sa danger. So it's much better if you feel pain ko, no? Because it's a signal that there is something wrong with you. So we need something to fix, or we need something to do about it. Okay? So in this pathway in here, the lipooxygenase, what we are converting here is the leukotriene. So usually your leukotriene is being released or is being increased in our body during asthmatic nga attack. Okay? So kung medyo asthmatic ka, ang reason nga gina-asthma ka would be the attack or the overproduction of your leukotriene. So kung medyo pala kaon ka sang cholesterol or other stuff, mas prone ka sa mga asthma attack and other pang mga masakit. So because some of our inflammatory signals came from cholesterol and lipids. So in here, you will learn in your pharmacology, again, that if i-inhibit mo ang ini nga pathway, so usually si alaxanta, si paracetamol, and other stuff, if you take them, you will not feel the pain because you will inhibit the pathway between arachidonic, you will inhibit the pathway of converting arachidonic to your prostaglandin. Okay? So that would be it. And in here, from here to here, what we are taking actually here would be something that would inhibit the lipooxygenase, that would be your Zelioton. So it's a drug sa pharmacology. So, or somehow we are taking drugs that would block the receptor of these leukotrienes. Okay, so you would learn further about that. But for now, you have to remember arachidonic acid is the one or our precursor for eicosanoid inflammatory molecules. Okay, for our eicosanoids. So gets lang guys ang ammonia part. Raise hands if gets. Any question about this? Okay. So, it's quite interesting. Diri nyo na matamat makita niya, amo ni galing ang ginapasayod sa TV about sa ibuprofen bala. It blocks PG2 receptors, stuff like that. Or it blocks the production of pain and stuff like that. So it blocks the production of pain because literally we are blocking the production of your prostaglandin. So if you take more of your arachidonic acid or if you take more of your lipid or linoleic acid, what happens is that mas grabe ang sakit. Okay? So refrain from eating mga amoniko nga stuff during menstruation and other pang mga masakit-masakit. So next, amo ni siya tanan yung description, guys. So bahala na hamud pa sa mga description as long as na-discuss ta ang pinaka-main theory. Okay? So these are all the things that I've said. And these are also your essential and unsaturated pagigyapon under. So we have the linolenic acid or what we call the omega-3 fatty acid. So it's called omega-3 because ang iya nga double bond ara sa third to the last carbon. Omega gani, alpha, I am the alpha and the omega. Magsiling ka alpha, it is the initial carbon. Magsiling ka omega, it is the last carbon. So magsiling ka omega-3 fatty acid. Omega-3, it means that you are third to the last. So ang carbon mo from the last carbon or the third carbon from the last carbon, dra mo siya malocate ang iya nga double bond. Gets? So your linolenic acid is an omega-3 fatty acid. So it means nga iya nga double bond makitaan sa third to the last. Okay? So we have different types of your omega-3 fats. So specifically, ara, nakabutang, they are differing according to shape and size. So we have the EPA, DHA, and your ALA. So kamo na bahala magbasa sa ni isa-isa, but all of them are omega-3. They are healthy fats, and you could derive them from salmon, sa imo nga mga olive oil. You could get this also from, I think, coconut oil, if may ara. But usually, mas makitaan mo ni siya sa mga seafood. Yung omega-3. And you could also buy omega-3 supplements from the butika, di ba? Nga pure gid mismo. So, kung ako sinyo, magbasa ka mo sa mga ingredients sa likod. Basa. Di ba damo? Kamo ni kabasahan? Tayo nyo basa, mga maskindiin lang. EPA, DHA, ALA, ano ni siya man? So, and I think you've seen this from commercials, sang gatas. So, sa S21, I think. So, EPA, DHA, ALA to improve brain function and stuff. So, literally, it is healthy for the body and they promote good development ng brain. It also improves our mood and other stuff that you could read on this slide. Okay? So, sa ulo, eicosa pentanoic acid, the docosa hexaenoic acid, and alpha linolenic acid. Okay? Next. These are all the functions of your omega-3. Again, so bago talangin hambal, improve mental health, it could improve your heart health, and other stuff. So, decreasing liver fat. So, kung gusto nyo magpaniwang at the same time, your omega-3 could also be used as a dietary supplement. So, actually, guys, ginatunaw yan yung mga fat, mga extra sa lawas. So, kung medyo nag-splurge ka or nagkaon ka subong medyo fatty food, mga putok tangkugo, mapagkaon, you could drink your omega-3. Okay? So, para, or fish oil, gali guys. Fish oil ginagamit ko actually to derive omega-3. So, fish oil. So, okay. Bahala na kamo magbasa sa tanan-tanan na, guys. So, kompleto na siyang notes so that you would digest this all. Next, we have the linoleic acid. So, bago talang insturihan kagi ng arachidonic. So, the linoleic acid is the dietary precursor. So, medyo confused ko ni Agay sa board exam. But gina-specify mo na nila. May ara sang ginatawag na dietary and we have the precursor lang, a term. So, kung mamangkot sa imo, specifically, what is the dietary precursor? The answer would be linoleic acid for the eicosanoids. Ang eicosanoids to, guys, amo to si prostaglandin, si leukotriene, kag si thromboxane. Pero, kis amira man sa board exam, mamangkot lang what is the precursor for eicosanoids? So, you could answer directly arachidonic. Okay? So, kay precursor lang man. So, kung dietary, linoleic. Gets lang? Kailangan, no? Let's proceed. So again, with the structure of your fats, wala labot sa bonding. If it is unsaturated or saturated, we also have what we call the cis and trans na formation or your structure formation. So I think we've discussed this from your lesson last time. Nga kung cis gani ano? Cis, both side of your molecule, or I mean, both parts of the molecule are on the same side. So as you can see here, cis, mag-cis ka mo, so you are on the same side. So wala ga opposite, directly lang nga bonded si carbon to its carbon, and then parehas lang ang ilang nga positioning. Unlike to that of your trans, into which of opposite side ang imo nga bonding. So, kita nyo ni, si C mo, naka-diagonally attached to your carbon, to the other one. So, usually ko no hambal nila, your trans fat is the one that is harmful. So, I think if you read your margarine sa likod, or if you read some of our products in the market, kasami na nila mag-promote sa market is that this is zero trans fat because it indicates that it is healthy. Because somehow, your trans fat is one of our dangerous lipids when you intake it. So these are the different comparison between the two. So, so cis and fat, when it comes to the arrangement of atoms, you could already see with the structure earlier. And of course, with the melting point, mas harmful ang trans fat because of this, the melting point actually. So it's usually high. So in our body, di ba, ano lang ganing temperatures ng aton body? It's about 37, di ba? So it's quite low. So at least si cis fat tayo, magkaunta, matunaw siya naturally sa aton body. Si trans fat ya, kung pagkaon tayo sa iya, we can't readily melt it. So usually, the tendency is that it will form deposits sa aton yung mga blood vessels. Therefore, i-clog yun na, amo na siyang mga gakosang stroke and other cardiovascular conditions. Duga ka, ano nyo man, panawag sa ni? Duga ka internalize man or visualize kung anong gakatabo sa aton blood vessel. So, since wala siya gakatunaw sa body temperature, ti medyo tugnaw, medyo budlay sa tunawon, syempre, gaklat na da sila. So, it would form calcifications, okay, and it will block our blood vessels. Next, thus rendering them dangerous. So, next, let's go to the other type of your lipid. So, first, ang gistoryahan to, simple pa lang to sila tanan. It means that it's just simply the glycerol plus the different fatty acids. Ang mga pinakasimple nga fatty acids. This time, we are now in your complex, into which we have the phospholipids. So by the word phospho, of course, as you can see, there's phosphoric acid, and these are all the components under it. So it would have also the alcohol. So it depends lang if it is a choline or a ethanolamine kind of alcohol. So buhi pa mga kamuda guys, dasig na lang niya. So this is what a phospholipid should look like. So, zoom in tanan to kaginang classification. And then we have the different examples. We have the lecithin and your cephalin. So, technically, since they are called phospholipids, usually they are found in our cell membrane. So, ambot ga kabatian yung mga guro permi sa pasayod, it contains lecithin to promote healthier skin and stuff like that, diba? If you look at your derma products, your mga products na pampagwapa, may RAI, di ba? May mga lecithin. So, your lecithin is a phospholipid and is usually part of our cell membrane. So, si cephalin man, at the same time, it's also part of our cell membrane, but usually sa aton nga brain area. Kay cepha, di ba? Cephalic area. So, that would be it. Ang difference lang kay lecithin and cephalin is the alcohol. If you look at it, the choline and your ethanolamine lang ang kinalain. So, next, we have the phosphatidyl inositol and your phosphatidyl glycerol. So, may mga description man na siya. So, these are the examples. May 4 ka man under phospholipids. And next, we'll go to your sphingolipids. So, specifically, ang kinalain lang is that the glycerol on your phospholipids and in your simple would be replaced by the sphingosine. So specifically, your sphingosine is a molecule again found in our cell membrane, and it is the one responsible usually sa mga nervous or sa aton yung mga neuron cells, guys, specifically. So this molecule is the heart ta naman bala sa sininga structure. So when you look at it, A simple phospholipid has glycerol, phosphoric, and amino alcohol. Pero si sphingolipid yan may ara sphingosine, fatty acid, phosphoric acid, and amino alcohol. And nga naka-highlight lang tawa guys, the sphingosine and the one fatty acid naka-highlight sila nga duwa. Why is it? Because the two of them, when you combine them, kung si sphingosine lang gid plus a fatty acid, di ba ato niya, si glycerol plus fatty acid, what do we call it? It is called now your triglyceride. Pero sa atong sphingolipid, if we have the sphingosine plus the fatty acid, we will now have what we call the ceramide. Ceramide. C-E-R-A-M-I-D-E. So don't worry guys, ara siya tanan sa notes. Ang mga sa dalom na bala nga mga notes, ara na da ang mga side notes. So let's move on. So, ano ganing purpose again is sphingolipid? It is just to it is a component of a cell membrane, specifically our axons and our dendrites, mga nervous system cells. So usually ara na da sila nag-align. So in here, abundant in nervous system. So our parent compound would be the ceramide, which is the sphingosine plus the fatty acids. So it is a component of cell membrane. Specifically, it forms our myelin sheath. If you look at your anatomy again, the myelin sheath looks like this. Remember, kakadumduman lang ang among structure, na? So you're all familiar with your myelin sheath. So your ceramide plus your different alcohol would be called now your sphingomyelin. Okay, specifically. So next, we have what we call the glycosphingolipids, into which ang sphingolipid mo lang gin-adan mo liya sang sugar. So it's still a sphingolipid, but it could also be called a glycosphingolipid because specifically you added carbohydrates on its structure. So this is what you call a different sphingolipids. So si cerebrosides, globocytes, gangliosides, and usually we could find these terms sa aton nga nervous system. Okay, so they are still again related sa aton nervous system nga mga functions. So you will discuss this further in the laboratory under clinical conditions. Kung ano ni siya nga mga masakit ang involved sa cerebroside and other stuff. Okay, so move on. So next we have what we call the steroids. So, miss, ano na di na wala man to under ang steroids. So, actually, we're finished with those different classification of your lipids, but your steroid is a special type of lipid. So, it's a special type of lipid in a sense that this is a cholesterol. So, magsiling ka cholesterol, so they have a specific structure on it. So, another naman ni siya nga category, hindi na ni siya classified sa pinaka-general nga kind of lipids, but this is a separate kind of classification in terms of the chemical structure. So, all of your cholesterol could be seen as someone having this parent compound. The CPP nucleus or your your cyclopentano-phenantro pentano. Wait, kasi sila ako nahambal. So, cyclopentano. Okay. So, that would be your cyclopentano perhydrophenanthrene ring. So, it's always asked sa board exam. Usually, CPP lang man ang ginagamit nila. But, ang ginagamit nila is the structure. This one. This structure. Dumduman ko na siya, nagwa na siya sa amon board. So, what do you call the group of compounds containing this kind of structure? So, it means that, pakitaan ka nila structure, kag-identify mo kung ano na siya group of compounds. So, as early as now, be familiarized with the CPP nucleus or the cyclopentano-phenantro. And this is how it looks like. It has 3 hexane rings and you have the 1 pentano ring. Okay? So with this, if all of your compound contain this one, they are considered cholesterol. And usually your cholesterol is the one that being made into steroids. So magsiling ka cholesterol or steroid, they are kinda interchangeable. It means that pwede ka kahambal steroid tapos cholesterol man na siya, pwede ka makahambal ng cholesterol ni siya, and then this is made up to be a steroid. So usually tanan yung nga steroid contain this nucleus. Okay? So kung maghambal ka steroids, we have different steroids in our body. These are hormones that would promote anabolism or catabolism in our body. So I think hindi lang ko sure ha kung ma-surprise ka mo, but usually your estrogen, your testosterone, and also your adrenaline, okay, could be called steroids. Okay, guys? So, ang aton estrogens or aton gamit ng mga hormones such as your estrogen, your testosterone, your progesterone, this could all be called your steroids because they contain the CPP nucleus. So, amo ning pinaka-parent compound ta. And then, your steroids, again, is a cholesterol, which is most abundant and the most important steroid. So, a steroid is a cholesterol. So, usually, we are using your steroid for rigidity and membrane fluidity, and usually, it could promote anabolism. It means that we are building up muscles. So, sinunding ga-gym? May ga-gym da sa inyo? Di ba may ara na iba niya naga-drink anabolic steroid. So, anabolic steroid helps us to build muscles. So, your steroids, they are your precursors for this production also of your bile acids and other stuff, and transported in and via out of your liver via your lipoprotein. For the examples of your lipoproteins also. Okay. So far, magsiling ka lipoproteins, araho, nakabutang mismo sa notes. These are the carriers of your cholesterol. So when we take cholesterol in our body, or when we intake dietary nga mga dietary cholesterols, what happens is that your chylomicron, which is a type also of your lipoprotein, is the one responsible into having this or into delivering the lipid from your small intestine going to the liver, okay, or going to your cell. Next, we have your VLDL or your very low density lipoprotein. So please write that down. VLDL means very low density lipoprotein. So this is now the one responsible into transporting the lipid from the liver to the cell. So kung may ara ka sa mga fatty nga mga pagkaon nga ginano, ibutang na siya anay sa liver tapos i-deliver siya sa cell. Now we have what we call the lipo or low density lipoprotein, into which it's the one responsible in transporting your cholesterol in and out of your cell. So medyo siya niya do two-way ni siya, mas hindi lang ni siya. So the more nga mas damo ang imo LDL and VLDL, the more nga prone ka sa cardiovascular diseases. Okay? So when we talk about naman niya HDL, high density lipoprotein, they are the ones responsible into scavenging. It means that they are the ones who are getting all the extra cholesterol from our cell or our body, tapos ginabalik niya sa liver. So buot siya kay nga hindi mag-deposit ang imo cholesterol kag fat sa imo nga mga different parts of the body, pero hindi siya mag-accumulate sa aton nga mga parts ng aton body because ginsugat sila sang HDL, and the HDL is the one responsible into introducing them again sa liver in order for us to get rid of it. So far gets lang. So when we talk about chylomicrons, it's all about from the small intestine going to your cell or to your liver. Si VLDL naman kasi LDL, ga-promote sila sang distribution ng cholesterol to the different parts of our body. Si HDL naman niya, siya ang taga-sugat sang tanan ng mga hindi necessary nga cholesterol, and then it would bring it back to the liver, and the liver would be the one excreting it or metabolizing it into further useful products. So gets lang? Raise hands be kung buhi pa ka mo da. Tatlo na lang ka-slide, guys. Raise hand, gets lang? Okay. So again ha, do not forget about the CPP nucleus. If all of your compounds contain the CPP nucleus, they can therefore be called your cholesterol or your steroids. So next we have, this is the whole pathway. Sang imong nga VLDL and your LDL and your HDL. So I hope that you would look this, amo tong bag-o ko lang ginhambal, guys, nga gin-absorb sa intestine and stuff like that. So study it. And next we have the synthesis of your body steroids. So again, here you can look at the slide. Cholesterol, the basis of all body steroids. So as long as you contain the CPP nucleus, you are a steroid, and usually your cholesterol is the one responsible into being metabolized to different states of the body. Ari guys, tips. Sino sa inyo ang sa girls siya usually? Sino usually sa inyo guys ang medyo delayed ang menstruation, medyo hindi mayo ang pag-abot ng ilatsan and stuff like that. So, with that in mind or with that condition, what you should do is to really cut down the source of your cholesterol. Okay? Cut down the source of your cholesterol such as your milk tea, your too much sugar nga mga pagkaon, the rice, and other stuff. Nga because again, cholesterol is the one being metabolized to form other steroids in our body. So, ang matabo is kung babae ka, usually mas damo ang ginaproduce mo nga estrogen and progesterone if you are eating this stuff. Does it make sense man? So, since nga cholesterol ang basis for the steroid, so, kung mas damo cholesterol yung ginkaon mo, mas damo ino-convert ang lawas mo, mas damo ka estrogen and progesterone. So, kung mas damo ang imo estrogen and progesterone, what happens is that you are interfering the balance of your hormones. So, this is the time that some people are prone to your PCOS na condition, PCOS, and also, ang iban gina-acne kay because nga damo-damo i-estrogen or somehow kis tamaan naman ka kulang because of the feedback inhibition. So, what you should do is to really cut down all of these sources. Kaya para mag-normal ang imo nga menstruation. So, gabi na makambal ko pero actually wala man. Ako permi ko guys kina dysmenorrhea. But I noticed that if for this month wala ko masyado nagkaon sa mga rich in cholesterol food, medyo hagan-hagan naman akong dysmenorrhea. So, have you noticed that one? Mayara, i-experiment nyo na. So, hopefully, this would be a change of lifestyle sa iban kung medyo amo na ginablang inyong menstruation and stuff. So, usually, ang imo pag yung side effect is gain weight ka. Basta may hormonal imbalance ka gani, guys, it's usually gain weight gid ang side effect. So, di ba may ara sa inyo nga, jutay lang ako bala magkaon nga, ano, tambok-tambok ko dayon. So, it's because it's due to your hormonal imbalance because of this pathway. So, therefore, or definitely, since cholesterol ang bisa sa paghihimo ng steroids sa lawas, so, in here, what is being shown is actually the area of synthesis ng aton nga steroid. So, this is actually the zona fasciculata, glomerulosa, and reticularis. This is what we call the parts of our adrenal medulla. Okay, the adrenal medulla. So, in your zona fasciculata, what we are producing there is your cortisol or your corticosterone. In your glomerulosa, the glomerulosa stands for minerals. Okay, glomerulosa, minerals. So, you are producing the aldosterone. And in your zona reticularis, what we are producing is the androstenedione. But actually, this androstenedione would be this is the precursor for your estrogen, progesterone, and your testosterone. Please put it sa inyong mga side notes for a while. So again guys, fasciculata, corticosteroid ang imo gina-produce or your cortisol itself, ari. And remember, si cortisol tadamo ni siya function sa aton lawas. Next, si zona glomerulosa, aldosterone, mineral. So usually your aldosterone acts on the kidney. So, si aldosterone is the one responsible into having or giving us the sodium and water retention. Put it lang sa mga function kaya para matandaan nyo. You will use this in your pharmacology proper. So, aldosterone, sodium and water retention. And for the zona reticularis, you are producing the gamete hormones. So, therefore, am ni siyang parent compound, but usually, after siniyang gaka-produce would be your estrogen, your progesterone, and your testosterone. So, amo ni siyang different parts ng aton adrenal glands. So far, what we just discussed is all about the classification of your lipids, the simple and your complex. So, from your simple, we have the glycerol plus fatty acid, which is the triglyceride. In your complex, you have the phospholipids and your glycolipids. And in your phospholipids, we have the sphingolipids under it and the glycerophospholipids. So we have the lecithin, the cephalin, and in your sphingolipids, we have those different mga classifications pagid kag sa glycero mo mga ceramide plus monosaccharide and other stuff pagid. So si steroid naman, reminder again, another classification into which this is a cholesterol because of the presence of your CPP nucleus. Guys, always take note of your CPP nucleus. Okay? The 4 fused rings together kay magwa na siya sa inyo nga exams. Okay? And what else? Take note also of the adrenal glands kung diin lang ang mga part ang inyo kinanan. Okay? So that would be it for our lesson. So far, gets lang. Hapos lang ng lipid. So it's more of understanding and reading all the notes. So I will upload the notes after this. And that would be it. So any questions? Raise hands be kung okay na ta? Or gets na ang lesson? Raise hands. Raise hands, guys. Okay. So halos na nakakuha naman na. So we'll end with this one. So you could stop the recording right now. And have a good day. So we will have